Hi there, this is review number 3, example number 3C. Sorry that I skipped this the first time. So we're going to solve this equation with radicals by squaring both sides to begin with. So you will square the left side and square the right side. On the left side, the square and the square root will cancel, and that's going to leave you with what's underneath the radical, which is x plus 10. On the right side, you have two of these, so you may want to write this twice just to help you FOIL it. First, outer, inner, and last. So I'm going to write this out twice. I've got first times first. 5 times 5 is 25. And then some of you may struggle with the outside insides. This is a 5 times a negative root 3 minus x and a negative root 3 minus x times 5. And so that's going to give you negative 10 root 3 minus x. So negative 10 root 3 subtract x. Last times last, a negative, so here's the negative times a negative is a positive. When you take the square roots and you multiply them together, you get just what's underneath, which is 3 subtract x. And that's equal to x plus 10. So what you're going to want to do is combine like terms over here on the right-hand side, which is going to give you that 28. And then you still have the subtract 10 times the square root of 3 subtract x. And I really don't want this x here, so I'm just going to go ahead and move it to the other side. So x plus x gives me 2x, oops, not 25, 2x plus 10. Now what we're going to do is we are going to take that 28 and move it to the left-hand side. So I'm trying to isolate the radical again. So let me get out my highlighter and show you. I'm trying to isolate this part of the equation. All right, so I took the 28, it was positive, so I subtracted it to the left-hand side. A 10 plus a negative 28 is a negative 18. So this is 2x subtract 18. And that's going to give me equals negative 10 times the square root of 3 subtract x. Now I can factor the 2 out over here. I know that it's a lot of just moving numbers back and forth, but now I can take that 2 and divide it back over to the right-hand side. So now I'm just left with x subtract 9 equals negative 5 times the square root of 3 subtract x. I'm not going to divide the negative 5 over here to the left because that would just give me a fraction, which would just be a mess. So I'm going to leave it. And now I'm going to go ahead and square both sides again. Cool. All right, so I squared both sides. On the left side, you're squaring this binomial, so don't forget to do outside insides. X times x is x squared. Outside insides is a negative 18x. And then negative 9 times negative 9 is plus 81, which equals the negative 5, you square it, so that's negative 25, and then you're going to need to use a parenthesis for the 3 minus x. The square root and the square canceled each other, giving you just what's underneath the radical. You would go ahead and distribute the negative 25. So this is, this is negative 75. All right, so negative 75, the two negatives are going to make a positive 25x, which is equal to the x squared subtract 18x plus 81. Now, I'm going to come back up here to the top to finish this problem, but what I'm going to want to do is, because it's a quadratic equation, I'm going to want to set the whole thing equal to 0. So this is going to give me x squared, and then the 25x I want to add over here. So I've got a negative 18x subtract, let's see, that was a negative. Oh, do you know what? A negative times a negative here should be a plus 25. So you got to square the negative. My bad on that. So square that negative. That's a plus 75. And then 25 times negative x is negative 25. I feel like re-recording this, but I don't have time. So this is subtract. Okay, so we're going to add 25x over here, and then a 25x subtracting 18x is a positive 7x. So this is plus 7x. And then the 75, I'm going to subtract over to the left-hand side. So now you have 81, and you're going to subtract the 75. That's going to give me x squared plus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So now I'm going to go ahead and factor this really simple quadratic equation. And I know that 6 times 1 is 6. And when I add outside insides, I'll get 7x in the middle. You take each of these and put them equal to 0. And then x is going to equal negative 6. And x is going to equal negative 1. Now, you do have to check these answers because when you're dealing with radicals, you can get extraneous solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and check them real quick and see if they actually work for solutions. Okay, so you can see that I checked negative 6 in the green and I checked negative 1 in the blue. And both answers worked. So I have 2 solutions to this problem. The answers are negative 6 and negative 1. I hope this helped. Thanks, everyone.